What's up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video. Some of you all might have noticed that a lot of my videos are removed. Don't worry about that. The reason why that is because I'm kind of going under construction. I'm about to do a relaunch of this vlog thing that I've been doing. Now I'm gonna launch it like an actual channel, put some actual videos out there, go back to doing more uploads as well as doing lives. I'm still gonna be doing the same lives I've been doing, giving context to certain things, but I'm gonna dial that back a little bit. Yeah, so I'm gonna actually, put in some effort and actually build the channel. Why now? Well, because I got a blog that I'm about to push in this space with a couple other people. You all will know when it's launched, and I'm going to use that as a mechanism to build it, combined with the efforts of the other people. So we're gonna get a side pocket corner space going of what the manosphere is based on the principles that we all agree to. And one thing to keep in mind is my content going to change? Yes and no. My content is going to be adjusted. Meaning, here's the deal. People are either going to believe what's going on or they're not. And at the end of the day, I don't have enough scale at this point as far as where I'm at in this space to really hammer that home. You are in a gynocracy. That is what it is. Whether you believe that or not, that's not my problem. Because at the end of the day, I value the correct information. I've never been one to live in narratives that make me feel good. I've always been one to, what is the correct data? Is this the correct data? And if this is the correct data, I accept it as such. And yes, you are in a gynocracy. And that doesn't make other things not true. But at the end of the day, if you're serious about really creating a competitive black community, even if you say, okay, the whole community can't be competitive, at some point, a version of the black community, when I say version, let's say, you always hear me say 60% of people are not going to make it. So within that 40%, there's going to have to be a social contract. Just like how Nation of Islam is black, but when you step into the Nation of Islam, there are rules that you follow while you're in that group. And if you don't want to follow those rules, you leave that group. And that's true for men as well as women. That's not just for the women. Because actually, more dudes leave the Nation of Islam than probably women do, to be honest. So it's not even about gender necessarily. But people have their roles to play and their constructs, and you operate within that construct. Doesn't mean you can't be great, but that's what it is. Now, and that's goes to any community. But see, this is not going to be so community focused. Yeah, we'll talk about black people as a whole, but for the most part, this is going to be more focused on the individual. And when I say the individual, I mean if I'm going to be helping, if I'm looking to where my content needs to be aimed, my content needs to be aimed at people my age and younger. Obviously, people that are older is welcome too, and welcome to give their insight, but that's where it's aimed at. And some of this stuff will be relevant to people that's older, depending on where you're at. But my goal is really to gain people up, say this is what it is, this is your environment, these are your options, this is how you create a more self-actualized self, aka self-improvement, and this is what you need to do with it. When I say need to do with it, I'm really talking about do what you want. One of the things that annoyed me when Ali Emmett made the video series Do What You Want, and I got very disappointed in her, is she's operating under the ability that black men have been quote unquote doing what they want. And even to this day, black men really don't do what they want. Not really. Black men do try to do what's right. And we could go back and forth saying who does what and why, because women, you even got women out here saying that they have been thrusted upon leadership, which is really kind of them low-key acknowledging that white folks have basically pushed them up, but at the same time they don't acknowledge that they basically walked through that door gleefully. That's the secret. But making those arguments are irrelevant, because most of the females on YouTube are quite frankly only interested, they just want attention. They're not really interested in having a conversation. It's just like these white boys when they try to troll. Black people will try to say, well, if I could just convince them, no, that's a waste of time. And I've always said the manosphere was never made to do that. But one of the things that we do, and I'm guilty of this, is we do too much reactionary shit. Well, remember there's a difference between reacting and responding. And responding is on your terms, reacting is on theirs. And when you react, they say some borderline stupid shit. Take K. Michelle, for example. K. Michelle's a fucking loser. At the end of the day, she can say black men ain't shit all day and choose to coon it out, embarrassing her father and her parents, and her father and her grandparents. But I talk about black men, even though black men helped raise her, she, whatever. All she's doing is being an infomercial for why motherfuckers don't fuck with black women. Most people know this in that arena that Idris Elba dropped her ass. And I was talking to somebody at work and they were saying, yeah man, she got that ass pulled out because she couldn't have kids before Idris Elba. I'm like, she could say that, but at the end of the day, she could say that may be true, but at the end of the day, man, Idris Elba ain't the reason she got rid of that. That shit was starting to be a health problem. And the point is, they're gonna have to square. You don't govern your women; the environment does. And when the environment changes, they're gonna change. The question really always comes back to, what are you going to do? What can you do? Which is what self-improvement is about. It's about increasing your ability to have a better quality of life, as well as the ability for what you can do. And then it comes down to what you will do. Will you settle for a single mother? Will you believe that you're contributing to the race by basically validating the gynocracy by settling for a single mother? Because that's what you're doing when you do that shit. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna and it doesn't matter. The point is, it's your choice, and you need to make that choice free of guilt. So really, when it comes to a lot of these topics, because I won't make this video too long, because I had another one that was like 25 minutes long. A lot of these topics, I'm going to operate on what I call policies. I like that, policies. Which, when I say policy, I'm going to say, okay, this is the policy that I have. Or this is the policy that kind of like my website represents, that I think majority of people agree to. And they can either agree or disagree with that. So for instance, if somebody says, what is your policy on can you be pro-black and sleep white? My policy is the resources and clout that you bring to the black community transcends who you're fucking. So if you have black kids already, and you're one of these dudes that you did what I call the Frederick Douglass thing, where you had kids with black women, but now you're just doing you, that doesn't count. That doesn't even count in that question. So the question is, are you having interracial mulatto kids straight up? And you just start, well then you can, but obviously there's a higher bar you have to clear to show that. And it has nothing to do with you need to prove something to me. It needs to be very apparent that that when I say pro-black, I'm talking about you are a benefit to black people around you, whether that is your circle, whether that's whatever. That's really what counts. That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna have a clear policy and back it up. It doesn't matter if the policy is not about saying this is what is right, this is what is wrong. It's about being clear on this is what I'm on. Because one of the things that I see that's a waste of time in the manosphere is we do way too much arguing for the sake of arguing. Niggas are cat fighting for the sake of cat fighting, because I'm gonna keep it real. This is the only way they know how to, a lot of these dudes, this is the only way they know how to grow. They don't really know how to grow via actually growing. They only know how to world star hip hop it. And it's very apparent that that's the only reason they know how to grow. That's why they keep on keeping the quote unquote debate going. So it just becomes you sitting here reacting to something rather than actually you sitting here pushing an agenda. So you just want to push your agenda by debating, not like proving and then bringing people in outside of the manosphere into it. It's just you proving the agenda. And this is not a shot at anybody. This is what it is. This is why all this shit, this is why certain people are valued in the manosphere where they really have no value, honestly, It's because of this very fact. And at the end of the day, I can talk shit about that all day, but ultimately, you have to put up or shut up. And I want to build something that's reflective of what I'm talking about. And then see where it goes. Maybe it'll blow up, maybe it won't. Maybe everything I do will not work. It is what it is, but I definitely want to see where it goes. And I'm excited, for that journey with you all. Because this won't be the same thing where things are like moving slow and I'm at 2,500. Remember, I did that without even trying. I'm a glorified commenter. That's what this channel has been up till this point. Now it's gonna be me stepping in and actually putting out what I think needs to be done. And my job, my goal is not to do that because I want, and I'm probably not gonna monetize my channel. I may start putting the Cash App up, but I'm not doing that because that's not what it's about. Because by me monetizing my channel, I'm basically making a deal with YouTube that I'm gonna censor my content so they can promote it. And that's not what my stuff is about. So ultimately, also, we're gonna talk about a lot of different stuff. I may keep the certain things on my particular channel and allude to other things. Because like a lot of things, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a concept called bridging, where I take a concept like something that's going on in the news or something that's going on in social, when I say social media world, I really mean kind of like the buffer world in between the pop culture and social media and the regular culture, as well as, various topics. And I'm gonna bring it back to certain principles. We can call this red pill principles, but just common sense principles. Based on what society is, to basically reinforce my points that I've said up to this point. And I'm going to go back to, like I said, those policies. I'm going to do videos saying, this is what I think about this is why, these are the clear things, period. When it comes to my policy on ADOS, when it comes to my policy on economic pro-blacks, I'm going to do videos. And those videos are not so much going to be to grow. Those videos are really going to be so we can have a playlist of this is what I think, this is why. So if somebody disagrees with me, I'm going to be very clear on what they disagree with me. To give you a perfect example, Obsidian and O'Shea just did a video talking about 50-50. And then Cut to the Chase came on there. I'm under no illusions. Cut to the Chase tried to play me in the comment section on that bullshit that happened a while ago, but whatever. The point is, what he was talking about was essentially not what Obsidian was talking about. That was a complete miscommunication. And it's really on Obsidian to really catch that. Basically, and he can disagree with me in the comment section if he wants to, but what Cut to the Chase was essentially talking about is he would be cool being single, he's cool with being in a relationship, but he basically challenged the woman that he's with right now to basically make him an offer. Pretty much, she probably fit the criteria that he wanted to be in a relationship, but that doesn't mean that he automatically was going to be in one. It's kind of like in reverse. But the difference is, dudes will try to use a 50-50 relationship as a mechanism to basically try to make it easier for themselves, and then sit there and then try to legislate the relationship from that position. That's not what he was doing, even though that's what Obsidian was talking about. What he was essentially doing is saying, hey, I know that I'm more valuable in the sexual marketplace and there's less of me than it is of you. Doesn't even mean that woman maybe, she probably is attractive. And she knew that. So he pretty much challenged her to say, hey, this is what it's going to take for me to be in a relationship. And if I'm in, I'm in. I'm not going to do the fuck boy shit. I'm not going to cheat on you, play you. But at the end of the day, I'm afraid. It's essentially what Kevin Durant and LeBron James have been doing when they signed 2-year contracts with the option of the 3rd year. Or 2-year contract. Yeah, they do that as a mechanism to say, okay, we're not going to do a 1 year, so it's always a will he, won't he kind of thing. But I am going to always be in a position where if I want to blow this shit up, I can. And what happened with Kevin Durant when it didn't work out? Because Draymond Green couldn't shut the fuck up. And I like Draymond Green, but damn. Same thing with LeBron. They exercise those rights. That's what power is. Why would you... I do believe that as a man, you need to pay, but I believe that because that is your house. And she's coming into your shit. But at the same time, there's a difference between that and then you just blindly doing that, and a woman can snuggle up under you and then she's doing her own fuck shit. I mean, hell, have we learned nothing from white boys? White boys do that, and white women are forever sneaky getting other dick. They don't appreciate that unless it's time for it to be taken away. And this is about to be turned into another video, and I don't want it to be that. But what I'm saying is, that's not what he was doing. What he was doing is actually very smart. He understood that he was the prize, and he basically made her an offer, and she could either accept it or not accept it. She said, if you don't want to be in a rotation, this is what it's going to take. And quite frankly, given the modern context about how these women were wired, to be honest with you, it is not that. It's not that. There's a difference between being married and doing that. As if a lot of couples are not already doing that. Let's just keep that the fucking real. As if, you not doing that doesn't mean you get a woman that's still gonna think she's better than you. Because we're not dealing with the same women that a lot of these old heads keep talking about. Remember, Obsidian was, 20 in 1990. So we're talking about 18 years before we talk about 12 years, really 15 years before social media really kicked off any kind of semblance to what we have today. And he was like active. He's still young, he's still hyped. No. So it is what it is. But no, that's actually a smart move what he did. But see, you have to know the nuances to that. And that's what I mean. That's something where I can say, okay, this is the policy, but this is how he operates outside of the policy. Cut to the chase, I mean. So therefore, what he was doing is not really in line with what I'm talking about. Therefore, that doesn't count. That's not really a true 50-50 situation. That's basically him basically saying, look, this is what it's going to take to pull me out of the field. Do you want it or do you not? That's essentially a Kawhi Leonard move. And that's a smart move, because if somebody were to say, well, what if she starts to act up? He could at least cheat on her and at worst get rid of her. But see, the thing is, she knows that. So if it's a woman that's comfortable with who she is and she knows she's not going to do the fuck shit, aka the and I might cut these videos up, aka the around the way girl, or aka the girl that got common sense that I always talk about, the 20%, aka the female that's a more girl next door type, where she's not on a lot of these fucking social mental illnesses, I call it. The illness of, I can always do better. I'm always gonna try to do better. Every nigga's a feeling nigga unless this nigga is a perfect 10, But then I wonder why I'm fucking like K Michelle and I'm alone, about to go to Miss Cooper, basically on the road to Dark Hideous, which is where K Michelle really is going. Every female ain't stupid like that. A lot of them are, and a lot of them can be manipulated by women that are, but every woman ain't dumb like that. They not. So I perfectly understand what he was talking about, and it's unfortunate that nobody really was hearing that. And especially me being 32 and me being in situations where older dudes like to act like they know every fucking thing to the point where they're not hearing shit. Because I had to go through that a week ago. And when you look, yeah. And it's a missed opportunity because it's too much miscommunication because motherfuckers want to be right. And that's unfortunate. But anyway, I didn't want to make this into another video. The point is, that's where this is going. We're going to talk about a lot of different topics. I'm letting y'all know now. So, hey, I know what that comes along with that. I'm still we talk about the same thing, but it's gonna be fun. We're gonna get some variety. It's gonna be fucking variety hour. I'm about to have all my Google alerts set up. So anyway, I can say what I'm gonna do all day, every day. You'll see it when you see it. So with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.